Okay, guys, how are ya? We are back, 7:30 Tuesday. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. I'm told that Let's see. This is the StreamYard we're using to have this video, host this video, and I think it said something about they were having some issues with Facebook. So this might be just a recording. I don't know. We don't get anybody on. Hopefully you're hearing me. It says we got a couple people. So I'll go ahead and get started. All right. So I'm just kind of going off some non-notes. I don't have notes today. I just have a kind of a rough agenda. And so we'll go ahead and get started. Hey, Damien, what's going on? I love your video, by the way. Again, love your video. I'll share it again because really, really, really good. And hopefully we can get together again soon and talk about the video. And Andy, thanks for coming out this past weekend in Fort Myers. I think the next show we're going to see you in is Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie. So we're going to work on getting the Candy guys back, Chocolate, there back at the show. Of course, we're going to have Mark Moriarty back at the in Bradenton, which I'm going to talk about here in a few minutes. And then we're going to have Tony. We haven't seen Tony in a while. Oh, okay. I guess it's been only a few weeks. These weeks go by, and it seems like 2 weeks ago was like 2 months ago. Anyway, and awesome. Great. Mike and awesome. All right. Great. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just talk a little bit about the show this last weekend. I don't have a lot of photos from the show. I don't know. Why did I not take a bunch of photos? I don't know, but I just didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. What am I going to show you? Okay. Well, actually, I'm going to show you the room that we're going to have next time. So we were in Fort Myers this last week. I don't know why I was thinking of just showing you this photo. This is the photo of the room next time. So if you guys were, if you looked at TK's video, look at TK's video. I guess I can put that. I'll come back. He would have shown you the room. Rain kind of plagued us on Friday with the setup, and then on Saturday we had a little bit of rain, but not a lot of rain. Had a decent turnout, and then Sunday was a little slow. But I also heard we weren't the only slower show this weekend. I heard from some other people about other shows going on. And I just think that is September in the market right now. The market right now says, okay, hold on a second. We'll come back to that, to our chat here in a moment. Okay. I'm gonna, okay, let me just go ahead and again, so attendance wise, to me, we didn't have enough for a 2-day to justify a 2-day show. I'm thinking about moving the second Fort Myers show next year, maybe to July, and then I'm going to come up with some ideas. Armando isn't on here, but we came up with some. He had some good notes for 2-day shows. That made me think a little bit, and that we'll do that. But again, I think the rain kind of hurt us. Again, Lakeland was totally rained out. We had rain both days, and then this last weekend, I think we just had the rain. And everyone that I talk to right now, their either job is slow. I have a trucking friend that. The trucking stuff is a little slow, and they handle like all Sam's Clubs and Gatorade and all of this stuff. And so there's whoa. Okay, let me go over to some comments here. So we had enough, but we had about the same as we had for a 1 day show. So there's no reason to, do the 2 day show there. I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the 1 day, and that is I'm going to put up the schedule here. I already have a date here. January 18th is when we'll be back in Fort Myers. I do think it's a great location. I think it's a great show. I think customers are, come out. But the problem is, the other thing too is that you got two other show promoters that are kind of focused in Fort Myers, and they've upped their shows. There's more of those people's shows. I'm not going to get into who that is. I'm not here to promote their business. So, but I do think that there's kind of a fighting going on with those guys. Maybe, I mean, it seems that way anyway. And in that, they just went from having a couple shows a piece, or one of them had a bunch of shows anyway, but they're comic focused and all of that. So let's go over some comments here. Again, thank you everybody for coming out. Sean, a right-hand guy here. He was out and he did a lot of work to set up, take down. I mean, we had a lot of stuff. He's got a new track that if you were at Fort Myers, he debuted that. It's got some motorized car shooting things and stuff like that. I think kids really had a really good time with that. That's an evolving thing. And then and then right before that, if you guys did not, I don't have it, right here, but right before the show, we had El Retro there, Damien out, and he did a filming of us unboxing the 95 Jazz Inc. Batmobile. Did a great job, and I'll repost that again. But thanks a lot there, Damien, for talking about that. And Jose, if anyone cancels, Jose's going in. Okay, so we don't have time. I'm out of space for Bradenton. But as soon as I get a cancellation, which we had like 4 cancellations this last, you wouldn't have noticed it, but we did have 4 or 5 cancellations for this last weekend show. Jose was not one of them, but we were able to fill in a couple people that were on the waiting list. Okay, so Lewis. Will there be a raffle and a prize? Will be the Batmobile? Man, probably not. But I mean, hey, you could always maybe. That was one of the suggestions that we will that we raffle off stuff. We'll see. I mean, there isn't a lot of room here. I got the 66 down here, but so I'm gonna say probably not. But let me, Jose, the walls. Okay, what Jose there is talking about is this picture of. So this is the picture of the Fort Myers show space that we're going to use next time. That I said that I want to use, and what this is to the right of this over here is the room that we are in, and it has the lobby in the front and all that. I don't necessarily think we need all that, but it's nice, but I'd rather have, you notice there isn't any doors that we have to leave open here on the sides. Okay. And so that means vendors they got lots of wall space. And this is shot from the door. I'm going to go and see if I got any other photos of that. You'll see it's all solid wall there.
That looks like the original space we were in.
Yeah, it's closer to the original space that we were in. Actually, technically, the space we were in the first time a year ago was to the left of this, Lisa. Oh. Okay, and there were more doors over on the left, but I just think that this is more about what we want to do, because vendors love walls, and we had to leave so many doors unblocked, in that space. This weekend. Let me go ahead and go back to, I'm gonna go back to, okay. And William Jackson, who you're still up there for the summertime there. In Columbus, Ohio, parking was $28.
Oh,
Wow. So I'm going to assume, okay, you said I had a real slow show in Columbus. I don't know. I mean, the $28 parking, that's pretty ridiculous, but I don't know. I just think that everything right now with the interest rates are really kind of, I know some people might not think that. One thing I noticed, stock, well, I think I've mentioned this before, but it's nothing to do with toys, but um, I play around on Robinhood. I do think it's like a neat thing for somebody to buy stocks, because you don't have to invest a lot of money to get started. So, but basically, I remember last summer all the stocks went down like major in September. I don't know why they did, but I mean, I sold out of everything because they went out, because I was kind of new and everything. And now this time, what I'm doing is I'm buying more whatever I can, not huge amounts, but just because I bought Gremlins here. I bought that this weekend, and I brought the this other comic book that maybe I'll show later, not this video, but another video, because I don't have it here next to me. But anyway, I just think September, right after maybe Labor Day. I mean, last year it was really good. This year, I just think maybe we should have stuck with a 1-day show, but that's all right. But I don't know, William, if it's the economy or the crazy parking. I do think parking, especially at that price, is probably going to affect it. Yeah, that is crazy parking. Okay. One thing I want to note about the parking, and I'll come and is just to stick with that parking. Kissimmee, the Osceola Heritage Park, which is in Kissimmee. It's not, Kissimmee's not, high end clientele. I mean, hey, do they spend money there? Yeah, they spend money there, but I just don't think the people that live there are really necessarily. They're not the same as, beach tourists or Fort Lauderdale, where everything is parking, costs money for parking. And the reason why we're sold out, I was planning on going to a larger space this time, but they told me that we were going to have to, their parking is now $15 instead of 10 that they've charged in a previous. They said if I used a bigger space, that because of the other event going on in the building, that the parking was going to be $15 if I went to the larger space. And so I forego that. And I didn't want people to pay parking. And then for next year, I'm going to look for another space to put the Kissimmee show in, see if we can find something else. We've been using Osceola Heritage for a long time, but I just think that I'm ready to try something else. So you're going to see me try other buildings next year. Okay, guys. And yeah, yeah. Oh, cool. Sharon. Yeah, I'm glad you saw the track and all that. And then, yeah, Flint, there, that was in Ohio. He is talking about Ohio, there, because, Mr. Jackson there, he's up there in the summertime when it's hot in Florida. He's like the youngest snowbird that I know, William Jackson. All right. And then so many people, yeah, that is awesome. Daniel was a great guest. Okay. He is a great guest. We're going to have him back. He's so easy. He was happy. It's easy to book him. Chicago has a lot of direct flights. Unfortunately, his brother, I wasn't able to, bring him down also, but it worked out and easy on. I'm going to probably try to have him in another show, maybe even this year. We'll see. And all that. And then Seth was there. I appreciate Seth doing helping us out on the promotion down there in Fort Myers. We're gonna jack it up next time. It was a little bit. I want to say I had a lot going on in the last month. I'm not going to get into all of that again, but it was a long August. I will just say that. And so, maybe I dropped the ball a little bit, but I don't think so. But but anyway, I haven't even looked at crypto really, honestly. I've just been more of the AI stuff, just the general market stuff. So that I watch. So okay, let's see. All right, we'll stick with okay. People still spent money, and I had a successful, but foot traffic was lacking. Okay, yeah, I mean, so that would have been probably a parking thing. Yeah, you are lucky to do that, but that's good. That's good. You got a thing going, and that's what matters, man. And you got the freedom to do that. I was just telling my friend Sean, reminding him that, the freedom to be able to do what you want and do what you love, and then somehow make enough, to I want to say to, get by and maybe even, be good. I mean, that's a feat, man. It's not easy to do. And so yeah, I mean, I feel lucky to be able to do what we do. And I've been basically I've been in business for myself for 30 years, not in obviously the toy business, but in other things. And so I've been lucky. So, all right. So we got coming up, we got Bradenton. Okay. We got Bradenton coming up this weekend. And I'm going to be sharing pictures starting tomorrow. So all you guys that have vendor space with me, this weekend, be sure to share your photos that I can share. And, that I can share. And so then and so I'm going to go ahead and now talk about that show. And then so I'm going to be starting to share all those pictures tomorrow. I know that seems a little late in the game, but with Fort Myers being last weekend, and then we had Lakeland the previous 2 weeks, that's why those pictures really weren't shared. We will have some regulars there. There'll be people that a few people now you can so you can send the pictures to the Facebook page, or you can send me if you have my personal cell, you can send them there. But if you send them to the Facebook Messenger, I'll use them there. Okay. We're going to be adding some help here soon on the Facebook Messenger and postings and stuff like that. So again, if you're in the show, send me photos if you want them shared, and that helps me promote your stuff. And then I'll be working on posting those tomorrow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the building that we have. Okay, for vendors, we're gonna have some setup time on Saturday. This is just a picture of the outside of the building. If we let me go ahead and show you pictures. I'm going to show you other pictures here, but this is stuff that I took the other day, which I did post. Parking lot is huge. Even though this was at night, I was driving home, so there's parking all. This is right next to the Bradenton Convention Center. So this isn't the Bradenton Convention Center's parking. This is a hotel parking. So you see it goes all the way out here. You got an easy load in here. This is in front of the door that you would load in. You can load in from there. This is the inside of when you first walk in. This is the inside. They have a restaurant there and a bar that's open. Let me just go ahead and, okay, this was the door that is right by this is part of the hallway where you can see the guy cleaning in the room there that we're in. This is the hallway from the lobbies way down here. And then the room is about 7,000 square feet. So it's a little smaller than we had this last weekend. I like how they make it look like it's the beach to the ocean here. That's kind of a neat thing. This is going to be where the check-in is. They don't have that backdrop there, but check-in will be at the end of the hall. Again, this is the picture of the room. These air walls won't be there. This is looking down from the lobby down. So we'll have a couple vendors out here where we can put them, where we can, a couple Pokemon people, maybe TK will be set up out here and stuff. So we'll have a couple people here. We'll have our statues. All this furniture is going to be here though, because they want to, if I want to move one of these couches, it's like extra money. So, and again, this is the lobby and all that. Okay, I'm going to show you some of their pictures. If you want a discounted rate to stay at the hotel this weekend, let me go ahead and just get the right stuff shown. Sorry. And then I'm going to show you some other stuff. Let's see.
Are you gonna post a link to the hotel?
Yeah, I can do that. But here's what I think is funny, guys. So this is the area around the hotel. You'll see if I expand this. This shows, some photos that they have on Google. Very nice place, man. It's really nice. But if we go back to the map, you'll see that Google only has it as it's under construction. But look at all this parking, guys. I mean, there's parking back here. That's for the convention center. But all of this is the building. And then you got parking. This is when it was being built. See, about a year ago. It's only been open for about a year. I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and then let me go ahead and share something else. And then sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and share the website. Or wait, sorry, there you go. Okay, this is their photos. Again, this is this weekend's show. So so our show is in this area here on the right hand side of the building. You got all this parking, and up front you got even more parking. If you'll see. Oh, that's a video.
Tony wanted to know square footage, how it compares to Ocala.
It's bigger than Ocala. I think it's about, I'm going to say it's about 50% bigger. Okay. This is, again, parking. Shows all the parking. Shows parking here. The show would be over here to the right-hand side. And then you're going to see there's tons of parking all the way out to the street. You got parking and behind the building. Let's see. This is the rooms. Again, if you want a room, okay. And then if we go over here to the meeting room, you'll see this is the space here with some tables in there. This is the empty space. And this again is the space with some other event in there. This is their smaller space. So I'll give you guys an idea. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Give me a second. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you a map. So hotels have these things called social tables, maps, and that was and so what I do that to submit a map to a hotel now. Some of them, if they're using this social tables software, which is a subscription for them at the hotel, then I go ahead and I'll update it now because it's easy to use. And then and then this is so let me go ahead and share that, but I gotta change this sharing. 1 second, guys. So you guys know. Let's see. Okay, so this shows, doesn't have names on it, but this gives you an idea. So to give you an idea of Ocala, it was missing this whole row here. So this whole aisle here, 52 through 60 were all, that was all like not there. Okay. So this is basically the room here. And then this is that hallway here. So this gives you an idea of the space. Okay. And then, so that is this weekend show again, Bradenton. It is a really nice building there. Jennifer, kind of wish you were here. No. Oh wait, yes, all the spaces are gone. Right on the inside, but maybe I'll follow up with you. Okay, so let's go back. Yeah, going over to back to the thing. Everybody saves their money to go to Xenia Otai. Yeah, yep. I need to know when that is because I need to go to that show myself. I think I talked about the photos, where to send them to. We answered Shellhead Toys about the Ocala. It's about, I'm gonna guess, about 50% more space. Also, these are 8-foot tables at this show versus the 6-foot tables I think they had at Ocala. And I think that looks like that's all. All right. Some other updates. So Jacksonville is sold out. Kissimmee is sold out. Daytona, I'm right now I'm thinking I'm going to push that show. So if I don't, I'm going to check all the vendor requests tomorrow, and I'm going to look into dates maybe to push that, because I'm not getting oh well, that sucks there, William, but I'm not getting enough vendor interest in this show right now. So I mean, that's partially my fault. So I mean, I guess, but I may move this. Port St. Lucie is open. I'm really starting to run out of walls and corners though. So, if get with me if you want to be at that show. And then I got a couple people to follow up with on that. I have opened up the Tampa show. I'm going to be posting the next South Florida with whatever I have left. And then I'm going to be working on this Santa's gift show. I'm working on a date. I do have a date at RP Funding, but I don't know if I like that date. So I'd like it to be a little bit like mid-December if I could. And then we're going to be back at the American Polish Club. This has been our thing for the last 3 years. Second Sunday, third Sunday, we'll be in Fort Myers. And then as of right now, the next show after that I have set up is the Space Coast show. But there is probably going to be something in between there, most likely. And then the Space Coast show is already set up for that date as of a few months ago. So I'm going to start having dates for vendors for next year. We're still going to do a bunch of, we're still going to do a few 2-day shows, but I'm going to stick with, what's working, which is a lot of 1-days. We're going to be adjusting some other things, and, but it's great because we got a team of people now. TK is on with us at least for 2-day shows, and hopefully maybe some more of those, more 1-days even. And we got more help. So we're going to take on some more stuff. I'm considering, I'm just throwing it out there. I am considering, because I have the help to run the shows. Okay. And I want to give these guys more work and stuff. I'm thinking about doing, a card show. But it would be a smaller, card show, just to maybe dip my foot into that. Only because we have the vendors that want to do it. So we'll see what happens. I'm not set in stone, and there's other things that I want to do. So anyway, again, guys, get with me if you want to table at any of these shows. other than the ones I said were sold out. We do get cancellations. So, even though it's sold out, that doesn't mean that I had like 3 or 4 cancellations again the other day. Let's see. We'll just go back to Jackson before I let you go. Talk about this. They do one in March. Let's open up another building. Man, those shows up north, man, they just kill it with the tables. And I'll come up. I'll follow up with you, Jennifer, on the shows. Okay. All right, guys. Enjoy your evening. I will be back next Tuesday, if not before. We're working on lots of different stuff on our end. I got this one thing I want to point out is I did get this really cool Gremlins lunchbox from our buddy Jerry. Has the tag. I love the other side. Gizmo riding in the Barbie Corvette. Pretty cool. And it's in super minty condition. I might grade this. I got a couple lunch boxes to grade, so we'll see. I'm not really sure when Kaz is actually going to be back. The end of the month, I do want to mention that, Keith Coogan will be there. I'm going to be changing the flyer, and I do know about the mistake on the Kissimmee show that it is Saturday the 4th, not Sunday. So that happens just because I get in a hurry. So that's my fault. So I'll see you guys next Tuesday, if not before. And thanks again, everybody, for coming out and watching. All right. Bye now.